On May 26, 2013, 29-year-old Harrison Okene, a Nigerian cook working aboard the tugboat Jascon 4, woke up early as usual, said his prayers and set off to prepare breakfast for the crew. The boat was supporting an oil tanker off the coast of Nigeria. It was supposed to be a normal day, but within minutes, everything changed. At around 4:30 a.m., Harrison, dressed in only his boxers, was sitting on the toilet, surely the worst place to be as disaster strikes, when a freak wave hit the tugboat he was working on, and turned it upside down. Now he was on the floor, and the toilet was above him. He was trying to open the door to get out, when the toilet fell and hit him on the head. He saw blood pouring from the wound before the lights went off. Everywhere was dark. The bathroom began to fill with water. It didn't take long before he felt the boat touch the seabed. 30 meters, 100 feet, below the surface, it came to rest. As water rushed in, Harrison was thrown violently from one room to another. In total darkness and chaos, he desperately tried to stand, but the boat was completely inverted. He could hear the horrifying sounds of his crewmates' screams fading as the ocean swallowed the ship. By sheer luck, Harrison was pushed into a small air pocket inside the overturned bathroom. It was pitch black, freezing, and he was trapped inside a steel coffin lying on the seabed. He had no food, no drinking water, and no way to signal anyone. The air pocket was small. He knew it would eventually run out. To stay alive, he built a sort of platform using a floating mattress to keep part of his body above the cold water. Searching through bags, he found a tin of sardines, a can of cola and some loose coveralls. He recited prayers continuously, convinced he would die. Below the water, he kept thinking about his wife and mother. He promised God that if he survived, he would never go back to the ocean again. Hours passed, then an entire day, and then another. The temperature was close to freezing. The air was becoming stale. Harrison could hear fish and sea creatures moving through the wreckage, and at one point he heard sharks bumping around outside. Crayfish bit his legs, torso and arms, making new wounds. Still, he stayed calm and prayed. It had been over 60 hours since the boat sank. No one on the surface expected to find any survivors. A team of divers from DCN Global was sent down to recover bodies, not rescue anyone alive. One diver entered the wreck, using a flashlight to search a corridor. As he moved, a hand suddenly reached out and touched him. The diver almost panicked. He thought it was a corpse moving under the current. But Harrison's hand held his firmly. The impossible had happened. He was alive. The divers immediately brought him an oxygen mask and then guided him into a decompression chamber. Because he had been breathing pressurized air for so long underwater, bringing him up too fast could have killed him. He spent 2 days in decompression treatment and eventually walked out on his own. Out of the 12 men on board, Harrison Okene was the only survivor. His survival is considered one of the most extraordinary underwater survival stories in history, often called the Miracle Man of the Atlantic. He later trained to become a commercial diver himself.